Yes, thank you, and thank you. Welcome to Thursday Night Football with Calvin Dean, sponsored by the NFL Network. Be sure to go to NFLshops.com and check out, they have some great stuff. And mind you, this show, if you're listening to this show, you could win your jersey of your favorite team with the name, your last name, or whatever name you want on the back of your jersey and whatever number you want. Okay? Now, how do you win? I'll tell you how you win. You win easily by going to thecalvindeanshow.com. thecalvindeanshow.com and click contact. All right? And write in what you want to hear in week 9, next week. Yes, what you want to hear, what type of soundbite you want to hear on your best team. You want me to analyze your team, anything you want. Just give me whatever you want. And the winner who has the most interesting question, the most interesting take that they want on the air, you will win a jersey. Yes, a jersey of your choice. And this is no schmucky jersey, guys. This thing is like, with tax and everything, like 200 bones. And mind you, it's going to be fun. So if you're listening out there, go to thecalvindeanshow.com and click on contact and give me your take on what you would like to hear me talk about on week 9. That would be next week's games. And like I said, I'll announce the winner next week. And then we'll have that winner have a brand new jersey from NFLshops.com. And, we'll go from there. And any team, guys, any number, other than a triple number. And, you can have your name on the back of it. It's going to be real nice, guys. It's going to be real nice. And that's something to think about next week. All right? So let's get to it. Yeah, Thursday Night Football. Gotta love that, gotta love that stuff. We have tonight's game. We have the Green Bay Packers going into Arizona. Unfortunately for J.J. Watt, another season is gone for him. He went on the IR, and he is getting his shoulder operated on. It's a season-ending injury. Unfortunately for the Arizona Cardinals, that's a huge void that you have to, try to replace. I don't know how many, great defensive ends out there that could replace Mr. Watts, J.J. Watts. I don't, there's not many. There's not many. So Arizona's going to have a hard time doing that, but their offense is just incredible. Kyler Murray's playing out of his mind. Mind you, he's just playing out of his mind. And, the last year's MVP is coming into town, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, without Davante Adams. And Davante Adams is on the COVID list. There's a couple other people that are on the COVID list as well for the Green Bay Packers. The lineman, there's, the defensive coordinator. And, that's just what the kind of world we're living in right now. To look at, tonight's game, the matchup, it's pretty lopsided when you look at, if you look at it paper-wise. You have the 19th ranked offense with the Packers, right? And they're going against the 4th ranked offense in the NFL with the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are 7-0 for a reason, people. 7-0 for a reason, and the stats right here prove it. Their defense is 10th. They're in top 10 defense, right? And Green Bay Packers are 13th. We have the passing attack 16th. Mr. MVP of last year is only 16th, and he's going to be without Davante Adams tonight. It's going to be a tough task, guys. Tough task. But do you understand something? The Packers are 6-0 without Davante Adams. Yes, they have risen 6 times to win without Davante Adams. Now you got to think of that, and I think that has a lot to do with Mr. Rodgers, because I've seen him without his starters, and I've seen him really win, and I think that's who he is, you know. And that's just a little tidbit that I just gave you guys. You have to sink that in, sink it in. Okay, so we have the 16th rushing passing attack, for the Green Bay Packers, and then the 6th passing attack for the Arizona Cardinals. 6th. 6 people. And now rushing the ball, 19th for the Green Bay Packers. Man, they better turn it around tonight. They really start. Now, last week, I believe, there's a chance that the Green Bay Packers can just run the ball and run it on the Arizona Cardinals. There's a chance they could do that, mind you, because that's their one weakness. If they need just to pound the ball and keep Kyler Murray off the field. Don't you believe that, everyone? I think so. Anyway, and then you have the rushing attack for the Cardinals, which we're not talking about Kyler Murray. We're talking about the running backs, Mr. Connors and Edmonds, and I'm telling you, these guys are definitely a good team. We have the injury report on the Packers, and D. Kelly, a tackle, he is doubtful. R. Smith, he's a linebacker, he's questionable. We have King, one of the cornerbacks, he's questionable. On the Cardinals end, D-Hop is questionable, but I think he'll play. And Garcia, he's questionable. Simmons, and he's on the injury report, but I think he's good to go. And then, of course, J.J. Watt is out. So, there's a few things here. I mean, their last meeting, the Cardinals, was back in 2018, 3 years ago. The Cardinals beat the Packers 20-17. That was their last time they played each other. So, you just have to look at everything put together. The Green Bay Packers are definitely shorthanded tonight's game. They have a few people that are out from COVID as well. So you have to understand that, it's going to be a tough one for Green Bay. It's going to be really tough. The Cardinals are flying high. Cardinals are just all over the place. I don't see the Green Bay Packers winning this game. I just don't see it happening, guys. Aaron Rodgers is great, and I know that Davante Adams, without Davante Adams, they're 6-0, but I just don't see them beating the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler, he scrambles so well too, and when he scrambles, that's when he's dangerous. That's when he's really, really dangerous, and I just can't see the Green Bay Packers winning this game. So I'm going to give this one to the Arizona Cardinals tonight. The first game of the week 8, I'm giving it to the Arizona Cardinals. And now the Arizona Cardinals points per game this season, is the most since 1948. They've been scoring 32.1 points per game. That's amazing. That's just amazing, guys. And it's going to be another one tonight. I don't know. The Packers could try to ground it out, but I don't think they're that good when it comes to that. Aaron Rodgers is great. Don't put Aaron Rodgers down. He can get it to the other receivers, but they have to get open. They're not Devontae Adams. That's huge. Devontae Adams just causes so much havoc in the defensive backfield. Think about that. They have to sometimes they have to double team, and then when they have a zone, they're definitely zoning out him. Playing him deep and playing him underneath, and and just paying attention to him. That's when all the other receivers, like Lazard, he's out for this game as well. So, man, and Lazard had a great game last week too. So that's another terrible news for the Green Bay Packers. So I just don't see Green Bay winning this game. And I just definitely the Cardinals over the Packers in tonight's game. All right. So we have the Rams and the Texans on Sunday. Sunday the 31st, Halloween Sunday. Ooh, Halloween. Yeah, baby. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. She says some Halloween. Good evening. The Rams against the Texans. What do we talk about on this one? Well, for number one, come on. It's the Los Angeles Rams, who the offense is number 5. Their defense is 24th. They got to get better on defense. But their passing attack is number 3. And their rushing attack is number 23. And the Houston Texans are like the late 20s on every single, when we're talking about offense, they're 29th. When we're talking about defense, they're 28th. We're talking about passing, they're 29th. And rushing the ball, they're 28th. So who do you think is going to win this game? That's a pretty easy game to pick. The Rams going into Houston and beating the Houston Texans, that's an easy pick. Matthew Stafford looking all that. Cooper Kupp. How about Cooper Kupp? Wow. I'll tell you, they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be 7-1 at the end of this game, and the Cardinals are 8-0. Packers will be 6-2. So I mean, it's a very interesting score. The next game, hats off to the Bengals last week. Man, they just destroyed the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, mind you. I thought it would be a closer game, but the Bengals just dominated in defense. The Baltimore Ravens could not stop them. The Burrows looked all world, and the Baltimore Ravens came down to earth. So hats off to the Cincinnati Bengals. They're 5-2. The Jets, they're playing the Jets in Jets Stadium. Now, Cincinnati has won 3 straight games against the New York Jets. They outscored the Jets 94-37 in 3 games. 94-37 in 3 games. And Wilson's out for the day. I don't see the Bengals bouncing. That's a horse term. If you're a horse player, and some horses will win, and then the next, especially if they're a maiden. A maiden is a horse that hasn't won yet, and they win really convincingly. In the next race, they bounce, meaning they have a terrible race. The next race, they just, they forget to run, and that's what I was talking about with the Cincinnati Bengals, but I don't think that's going to happen. The Bengals over the Jets in this one by a hefty amount of real estate. Now, the next game is probably, I think, one of the best games other than tonight's game. If the Green Bay Packers weren't so hurt going into Arizona, I think they would put up a better fight. They still could put up a great fight, don't get me wrong, but I think that definitely the Green Bay Packers are going to lose tonight. But what we're going to talk about right now is the Titans, the Tennessee Titans. 2 huge games they won. I mean, they beat the Buffalo Bills. Now, mind you, Josh Allen slipped. They would have lost that game. They were playing the Buffalo Bills tight, but I just look at the game still, and even though the Titans won, I think they would have lost if he didn't slip. I mean, they won on a technicality type of play where the player slips on the 1 foot line or something like that. So, and then last week they looked all world against the Baltimore Ravens. So they've played 2 great games in a row, and they're humming. I mean, Derrick Henry, he's definitely up for the MVP of the season. Yeah. And Derrick Henry loves those claps and cheers, that's for sure. And, they're going against Carson Wentz at home. Now, Derrick Henry he's averaging 119.7 rushing yards in 6 games as a starter versus Indianapolis. Wow. Now, Indy, you kind of closed the door on the run last week. Jonathan Taylor is definitely stepping up. I think this is the week that the Titans are going to bounce. And the Indianapolis Colts are going to get even 500 on this game. This is an upset, mind you. Upset. That's what's special. The Colts over the Titans in Indianapolis. Carson Wentz will come through, and they won't completely stop Mr. Henry. Henry only had like 80-some-odd yards last week, right? But they still won. And this week is another game. Now, the Titans last week beat the Kansas City Chiefs, mind you, okay? And they did not beat, it was the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Baltimore Colts. The Baltimore Ravens. Used to be the Baltimore Colts. I'm showing my age by saying that. But anyway, so I'm definitely giving it to the Indianapolis Colts over the Texans, Tennessee Titans. The next game we're talking about is the Steelers. Steel Town, Justine's favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, going into the Cleveland Browns. I believe Baker Mayfield is going to be starting. That's what they think. But I don't know. I just don't know if he is up to it. And I don't think the Steelers are going to win this game. I just don't see it happening. The Browns are going to win this game over the Steelers. Roethlisberger is 23-2-1 in the regular season against Cleveland. That's pretty big. The offense is 28th for the Pittsburgh Steelers against the 7th-ranked offense of the Browns, because the Browns are number 1 rushing offense in the NFL. And my friend Marlon, he scolded me on that one, and it's like the Cleveland Browns are the best team. They are the best rushing team in the NFL. Now the defense, mind you, is number 4th in the NFL as well for the Cleveland Browns. Yet the Pittsburgh Steelers is ranked 5th, and the passing attack on both is just horrendous. It's 26th for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's 24th for the Cleveland Browns. It's ugly, guys, ugly. And I mean, the rushing attack for Pittsburgh they're like second to last. They're 31st, and they're going against the number 1 rushing attack. I'm giving this to the Cleveland Browns by far. The last time they played each other was January 10th, 2021. And the Browns beat the Steelers 48-37. And, then they went on. And the Browns look really good. I think even with Case Keenum at quarterback, I think they'll win. And I think the Browns will beat the Steelers. Steelers will end up 3-4, and the Browns will be 5-3. We have the next game on the docket. We have the Lions, 0-7 Lions against the 2-5 Philadelphia Eagles. Pretty pathetic, both teams. I mean, the Eagles on paper, they don't look too much better. They're 17th in offense. The Lions 20th. They're 22nd in defense. The Lions are 27th. The Eagles are 17th in passing, and the Lions are 15th. The rushing attack of the Eagles are 10th, and the rushing attack of the Lions is 22nd. I think Swain's better than this. They're going to be at home. I think this is going to be the first game that the Lions are going to win. I'm picking the Lions over the Eagles in this one. The winless Lions will have their first win. They played it tough against the Los Angeles Rams last week. They played they played out of their minds, mind you. They really did. And hats off to the Lions last week. They really played their hearts out. And I was very surprised. The Lions are going to upset the Eagles in this game, and they're going to end up being 1-7, and hopefully more wins to come for the Lions. We have the next game. We have the 49ers. Yes, the 49ers going into Soldier Field. Chicago's fewer than 200-yard passing in each of the last game this season. Only team in NFL history to actually have that. Not good. Justin Fields does not look good. The offense of the Chicago Bears is ranked 30th, which is almost last. The San Francisco 49ers aren't that good either. I mean, they're ranked 27th. But the defense is where it counts. The San Francisco 49ers defense is ranked second. I mean, Justin Fields is running all over the place away from, his offensive line cannot hold anyone. And then, they held the 3 points against the Bucks. 3 points. And then the Bucks are down defensively. I mean, they're not doing that well in defense this year on the Tampa Bay Bucks. And, man, the Lions, they shut them out. They nearly shut them out. They held held the Bears to only 3 points last week. 3 points. The Bears were just limited to 3 points by the Tampa Bay Bucks. And the passing attack of the Chicago Bears is ranked last. Yeah, Justin Fields. It's funny. It's terrible. I feel so sorry for the Chicago Bear fans because, they thought, Justin Fields, put him in. Yes, he's the savior. And now he's the GOAT. And he's not the GOAT like Tom Brady GOAT. He is terrible. He's been doing bad. And, you can't fault the guy. They don't really have an offensive line to talk about. Their weapons. He doesn't have many weapons around him. He's running all the time. What does that tell you if the quarterback's running out of the pocket all the time? For number one, he's scared shitless. And, his offensive line is not holding up. So he's going against the San Francisco 49ers pass attack. I think Jimmy G will get it back. And I think the San Francisco 49ers will win and will beat the Chicago Bears in this game. So I'm giving this one to the 49ers. The next game, we have the Panthers. We have the Carolina Panthers going into the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons have won 6 of the last 7 games versus Carolina. Carolina's that young team. They got a great defense that flies around. Their defense is ranked 7th. But the Atlanta Falcons' defense is ranked 8th. And the offense, I believe it or not, the Carolina's offense is ranked higher than the Atlanta Falcons. Now, mind you, the Atlanta Falcons offense in the last 3 games have been doing great. Matty Ryan's I think he's got like 10 touchdowns to 1 interception, or 11 touchdowns to 1 interception. And he's just spreading the ball around, too, to everyone. Kyle Pitts looks great. He looks so good. And, they're just going, Matty Ryan's just, he's heating up. And I'm glad he's heating up now, because if their defense stays at 8th in the top 10, they just might squeak in a playoff run. They just might. But they're going to have to improve. They're going to have to improve on their rushing attack. Their rushing attack is 30th. I mean, the Carolina Panthers are 20th. They don't have McCaffrey. They don't have and Sam Darnold has been looking terrible. I mean, they won their first 3 games, but look who they won against, And these teams they beat in the first 3 games, come on. I mean, not that good. And, it kind of reminds me of the Denver Broncos. The Broncos, where they played the Jags, the Giants, and the Jets, and they were 3-0. Well, come on. What a great schedule. That's a psych out schedule. But the Denver Broncos are now showing who they really are against real teams. They're losing. Unfortunate. I don't know about this game. This is a tough game to even call. Carolina and against the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons are playing hot, and the Caroliners aren't. So I'm going to give this to the Atlanta Falcons, the hot team. Matty Ice is definitely going to ice them. Kyle Pitts is going to have a good game, and I'm giving this to the Atlanta Falcons. They'll end up 4-3 at the end of this game. Bravo to the Falcons. Bravo. The next game, we have the 4-2 Bills going into, playing at home against the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa. Tua, not that good, Tua. He just, they're still looking for their savior, and Tua is not the savior for the Miami Dolphins at all. So we're going to talk about the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen slipping and falling on the 1 yard line before their bye week, and they lost to the Tennessee Titans on that one. They should be really 5-1, but they aren't. They're 4-2, and this is going to definitely be my lock game of the week. And it's the Buffalo Bills over the Miami Dolphins in Buffalo. They're going to just blow them out. It's going to be one of those games. Buffalo's won 6 straight games versus Miami, scored 30-plus points in each of those games. So I'm giving this one to the Buffalo Bills. They'll be 5-2 at the end of this game. The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins, that is my lock game of the week. The lock game of the week, what that means is this. That means that team that I give a lock to is just going to, they're going to win. And I'm 7 for 7, mind you. 7 weeks in a row, my lock game, I have won. All 7. So better listen to me. I want to go 17 for 17 this year. That's what I want. That's what I'm shooting for. My next game is this is a tough one. We have the New England Patriots, Mac Jones looking all world. I mean, the Chicago Bears must be scratching their head going, oh my God, we made the wrong decision. Oh God, we could have taken Mac Jones. And I told Nikki up in San Francisco, Nikki's Niners, I told her, I said, I'm telling you right now, Mac Jones out of this class is going to be the best quarterback. And the guy he looks like he's a seasoned veteran. He's just dicing up dimes. He's running the offense really well. He's smooth. He's silk. He's smooth and silk. I mean, he's all world, man. Mac Jones. Trevor Lawrence is great too. Don't get me wrong. But Mac Jones definitely is a force to be reckoned with. You have the Chargers at home, and thank you SoFi Stadium last week for inviting me over there. That was really nice, and I want to thank everyone, my agent for getting me in, and the NFL Network as well, and the Chargers. In this game, I'm definitely, this is a tough one because Bill Belichick loves to play games like this. He knows how to take teams and stifle them. But it's going to be tough to stifle Herbert because, they're coming off of a bye. They're all rested, and they're at home. And I think Williams is going to have a huge game. Allen's going to have a great game, I think Herbert's going to carve up New England like a cheap suit, and the Chargers are going to be at the end of this game 5-2. The next game we have the Seahawks and the Jags. Boy, man, the Seahawks just look terrible without Russell Wilson. How important is that quarterback position? Really, think about that. All the receivers, they aren't putting up numbers. I have DK Metcalf on a few of my fantasy football teams, and without Mr. Wilson, he's not scoring that much. He did have that 184-yard touchdown last week, which is a great throw, great run after catch. And it was only like a 16-yard pass or something like that, but then he ran it all the way. Missed tackle Lattimore. He schooled Lattimore in that one, that's for sure. And I don't know. This is going to be a tough one. I think the Jags are going to really play the Seattle Seahawks tough in Seattle. Seattle really needs this one. The Jags are coming off of a bye. I don't know how sharp they're going to be. They could be. Now, Trevor Lawrence could, just pass up. It matters how, the field, because it was just terrible last week. The Seattle weather was just not cooperating. They had wind and rain, and it was just terrible. So this week, given the bye, and Seattle really needs to win, but I'm going to give this one to the Jacksonville Jags to win 2 in a row, and I think Trevor Lawrence is going to dial the Seattle Seahawks secondary. I think he's going to dial them up and just spit them out for lunch. And you look at the stats offensively, they're really, really, really close. They're 25th offense for the Jags, 22nd offense for the Seattle Seahawks. This is where it counts. Sort of, I guess. 19th defense for the Jags, 31st defense for the Seattle Seahawks. That's what I'm talking about, people. That stat right there. The passing is like 27th to 25th. 25th is Seattle, so Seattle wins on that one. And then you have the rushing attack, 16th to 13th. In all reality, it looks very, very close, this game. With stats-wise, looks very, very close. And I'm thinking, the last time these guys met, the Jags won, I believe it was like 4 years ago in December. And the Jags won like 30 to 24. And they're going to win again. And the Seattle Seahawks will be 2-6 and completely hurting. The next game's an interesting game. It's the Tampa Bay Bucks are just playing out of their minds, and they're going into New Orleans. And the Tampa Bay Bucks, they're they're just playing all world right now. And the GOAT he's just great. They have the number one offense in the NFL, the number one offense, and the Saints are the number 31st offense. So it's number one against really the last offense of the NFL. I mean, that's what's going on here. So, and then you have the defense of the Saints is third. The Bucks is ranked 14th, but last week they really stepped it up. The Bucks always get better when it comes to defense. So I'm going to give that. I'm going to give it up. They had been hurt, but like I said, the Saints are third. That's dangerous. But the passing attack is number one for the Tampa Bay Bucks. I mean, how can you stop? Gronk's coming back, and they won't have AB, but they have Evans, they have Godwin, they have everyone. They have Brate, they have Gronk, O.J. Howard, Rojo, Fournette, and on and on and on and on. Man, I mean, it's one weapon after another, and I just don't see the Saints stopping all those weapons. And I don't think I just don't see the Saints winning this game at all. I wish I did. I wish that I see it as maybe a closer game, but it's not going to be. New Orleans has won 5 straight games against Tampa Bay, mind you, 5 straight games. That's a thought, but not this game. And I'm giving this one to the Tampa Bay Buck. And this is what it's all about, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we'll just go from there. And I just don't see the Saints winning this game. So throughout that whole notion of the Saints winning 5 in a row, they won't win 5 in a row. The Bucks will win this one. They'll be 7-1. The next game, we have the Washington football team going into the Denver Broncos at Mile High. Now, the Washington football team, they're 2-5. The Broncos are 3-4. Like I said before, the Broncos' first 3 games, they won against the Jets, the Giants, and the Jags. And then they lost the last 4 games. And Washington is 4-12 versus non-divisional opponents since 2020. That's something to think about. They're going into Denver, Mile High Stadium. Now the Washington Redskins defense played a little bit better last week. Their defense is still, terrible, but their defense is ranked 11th. So they stepped it up. That was the Broncos that ranked 11th, and the Washington football team's ranked 30th. And they're 16th of offense for Washington, 18th for Denver. Passing is 18th for Washington, 13th for Denver, and then the rushing attack on the Washington side is 8th to 15th of Denver. Now, I mean, everything looks like Washington. It just does. It's tough. It goes back and forth. One wins, one loses, one wins, one loses. We have the offense, and it's a nasty game to even think about. Washington was playing better last week, so I'm going to give this to the Washington football team to beat the Denver Broncos at home in Denver, and that's going to be interesting. The next game, we have the Cowboys, who are just all world. They're 6th ranked offense in the National Football League. They're 12th in defense. They're 10th in passing, and they're 4th in rushing. So, that's pretty hard to beat. And then you have the Minnesota Vikings, on the other hand. They're 12th in offense. They're 6th in defense. That's pretty good. And now they're really good in defense, guys. Their passing's 11th, and their rushing is 12th. Now, this is going to be a tough game. And mind you, I don't think Dak Prescott's going to be playing. I have a strange feeling he's not going to be playing. The way he talked, and the signs. I don't think he's going to play this game. I'm going to give this game to the Minnesota Vikings on an upset win on at Sunday Night Football. What a great time. Sunday Night Football, and the Vikings will beat the Cowboys in Minnesota, and the Cowboys will be, at the end of this game, 5-2, and the Minnesota Vikings will be 4-3, and they'll be back in the hunt. I really think that's going to happen. I think the Vikings, I think Cousins is going to come through, and he's going to win. And plus, they had a week off, just for injuries, and I just don't think, I don't see the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, winning this game. I just don't see the Cowboys winning. So I'm giving it to the Vikings. Last but not least, this is a ugly game. Ugly game. Can you believe it? I'm calling a Kansas City Chief game ugly, unless, I don't know, I just don't. The Chiefs defense is ranked 29th, and the New York Football Giants is ranked 23rd. They're playing the Giants, mind you, and it's going to be in Kansas City. And the offense is Kansas City's offense is second. Their passing is fourth. Their rushing is ninth. They're 3-4. I just, they're going to be 4-4 at the end of this game. They're going to win this game. They got spanked last week and by the Titans, and I just don't see them getting spanked again at home, especially with the New York Football Giants. Daniel Jones, he's a question mark. That's for sure. He'll be 2-6 at the end of this game, and they should be thinking, what are they going to do? Think about that. I just don't understand why the Giants just can't get it together. They're hurt too. Barkley's hurt again. Galladay's been on and off. Shepard. I mean, then they have to rely on Tony, who really hasn't stepped up. And then Daniel Jones is like working with no talent, no actual real good talent. Other than Barkley, and Barkley's half the man this year because of his injury last year. After an ACL, you never really come back too strong the next year. It takes you like a couple of years to really get back to where you're supposed to be. And then he's hurt again. I'm seeing in my eyes, I'm hearing a lot of my thoughts about Barkley. I think Barkley is just, I don't know, he's injury prone. And, he's like sort of like a Jimmy G, J.J. Watt. Hopefully he won't be like that, but it seems like he is. And, New York, I just don't see them, spending tons of money on Mr. Barkley. And I just don't see it happening. He's just too much, he's not really, consistent. Availability. There's greatness in availability, right? He's great, but you have to be available to become great. You understand? You have to be available to show your greatness, right? And if you're not available, you can't show your greatness, and you ain't going to get paid the way you think you should get getting paid. And you're on the New York Football Giants. You're on the New York Football Giants. It's not that good of a team. It just isn't. And that offensive line, every year, what's wrong with the New York Giants? Their offensive line. And the next year. So what's wrong with the offensive line? Giants, still there. When the quarterback's running for his life all the time and he's getting sacked, blindside sacks, and fumbling the ball and stuff. Hey, come on. That's not just Mr. Jones's fault. It just isn't. It's the team. It's the whole team's fault. So you have to realize that. And so I'm giving this one to the Kansas City Chiefs, mind you. And now Kansas City's allowed 32.3 points per game at home this season. Their defense sucks. I mean, I guess I was blunt on that one. And aren't I supposed to be like this one person? Oh, yeah, very. You have to be complimentary. And, be politician. Yeah, you're doing great. We're gonna trade you. But the Chiefs' defense just sucks. They just suck, and poor Patrick Mahomes. Pat's got to stop trying to win it by himself. He just got to stick in the pocket, dump it off, and let his players play. And that's what he needs to do. So let's go over this quickly. Week 8, people. Week 8. We have the first game tonight. The Cardinals will remain undefeated, and they will beat the Green Bay Packers, even though without Davante Adams, the Green Bay Packers are 6-0. But on the other hand, the Cardinals don't get a lot of respect. I'm giving them ultimate respect on this game. Normally, I wouldn't be picking them to win. I think I probably would have picked them to win, even if Davante Adams was around. I would have picked the Cardinals in this game. I think the Cardinals are dynamic. I think the Cardinals are going to be a force this year, along with the Los Angeles Rams and the Tampa Bay Bucks in the NFC. Now, mind you can also give it up to the Dallas Cowboys, definitely. And I'm not bought on the Packers yet this year. I think the Packers don't look that good as they looked last year. I just don't see that. So, and then the Rams over the Texans, the Bengals over the Jets, the Colts to upset the Titans, the Browns over the Steelers, the Lions to upset the Philadelphia Eagles, the San Francisco 49ers to go into Chicago and beat Justin Fields in Chicago, and the 49ers will get back on track, the winning track. Matty Ryan in the Atlanta Falcons. I'm giving this to the Atlanta Falcons the way they've been playing for the last few games, and hats off to Matty Ice. And I'm giving my lock game of the week, coming off the bye, coming off a horrendous loss by just slipping, Josh Allen slipping at the goal line, and they would have beat the Tennessee Titans if he didn't slip. And but I'm giving this to the Buffalo Bills. That's my lock game of the week. The Buffalo Bills to beat the Miami Dolphins. The next game is the Chargers to beat the New England Patriots in Los Angeles. The Chargers will end up 5-2. Look, Chargers are better than everyone thinks. Mind you, everyone thinks. If you look at that game, the Chargers offense is 23rd. The New England offense is 13th. The defense is 18th for the New England Patriots. The offense of the Chargers is 9th. The passing attack of the New England Patriots is better than the Chargers. They're 9th. And their 12th pass attack for the Los Angeles Chargers. And even the rushing is better for the New England Patriots than the Chargers. I just don't see. I mean, the stats and everything looks like a New England victory. It just does. But I just don't see them going into Los Angeles and beating Herbert. I think Herbert is gonna light it up, and I don't know how Bill Belichick's going to stop Justin Herbert. Now, Bill's smart. He's a smart guy, and he knows his stuff. He knows how to stop this or that. But they have so many weapons, and that kid is just all world, when it comes to passing. The next game, I have the Bucks, the Tampa Bay Bucks, to beat the Saints. I have the Washington football team to beat the Broncos at home at Bronco Stadium. I have an upset of the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Yes, the Vikings, the Minnesota Vikings will beat the Dallas Cowboys and Sunday Night Football. And then last but not least, we have the Monday Night Football game with the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs will beat the New York Football Giants. Thank you so much, people, for tuning in to my show, Thursday Night Football Show. Remember, stay safe, get vaccinated. Everyone, I wish you all the best, and see you later. See you next week. Thank you so much.